Hey, everybody. How are you all? It's good to see you guys. I hope you had a good Democracy Day. It was a reminder. It's interesting. It was quiet here. There weren't a lot of fireworks and a certain amount of local stuff that made Foxy a little freaked out. But by and large, it was still very quiet and not as much traffic, not as much chaos, not as much extraneous, silly stuff. And I couldn't help but wonder if underneath it all was this sense of the importance of what we're supposed to be celebrating on July 4th. I know our founding fathers were far from perfect, but they were far ahead of their times. And they left us something quite extraordinary, and a democracy, if we could keep it, a republic, if we could keep it, and a constitution to which I have always been quite devoted, even before I got to law school. So I hope it was a meaningful day for you. And up comes this card right away for our July reading. What is it that we need to know about the month ahead? The wisdom that we'll need? And it's a blessing card right away. So first is this, which we'll return to in a moment. I have such deep gratitude for all of you for the opportunity to do this and for this increasingly dazzling deck, which I created with the enormous blessing, aid, and skill and friendship of Danielle Barlow, artist and witch, and which we created with the most reliable means of shamanic journeying, about which I will have more to say soon, teaching a two-part class. I expect it will announce for September, followed by something truly, truly magical. And we trusted the method. We trusted each other and our capacities to understand, interpret, and express. She in the visual imagery, and I with the words as the writing creator. And the question was, would it work? And heavens, earth, and all that is in between, it's working. So I treat it with the greatest awe and reverence and ask it what else it is that we need to know for this month ahead. And let's see what else it wants us to see. So first is the Pilgrim, followed by the humble Two of Air, followed by, at the other end of the seeming spectrum, the Goddess of Air. Grandmother Spider at the center of her whip. So the Pilgrim, first and foremost, go forth into the month, go forth into the adventure, go forth into this next summer part of your amazing life, knowing that you are supported from beneath by Mother Earth, from above by all of the spirits who dwell with us, seen in their embodied form and unseen in their existence in more subtle planes that permeate and color the one in which you reside, that you are surrounded, you exist at the center of a sphere of sacredness, and you are enmeshed in a web of pulsating energies, all of which are part of the life force, all of which are intended to support and sustain and nourish all of the lives that are contributing to this magic within which we live. And it's there for you. When you breathe, it comes with the air. When you drink water, it flows through you. When you eat, it nourishes you. When you sleep, it guides your dreams. And so this is an invitation to pack a little bag and put it on your back and call your guides to be with you, and to set forth and to engage in your life as the adventure that it's meant to be, and be courageous, be fearless, and be open to the magic that is flowing to you, to the nourishment and the guidance and the love that is there for you to draw upon as you make the essay. So that, and now a little bit of guidance, that as we think of guidance as coming from great and cosmic forces, from profound and embodied ones, we're reminded to cleave close to Mother Earth, to look at the small things on the ground beneath our feet so that we do not trample them, right? To walk gently as we go forth on our adventure, to look closely, to see the magic that's unfolding in even the smallest creatures. Here, the hedgehog and the little world, the level of life at which this hedgehog lives and makes its magic, which makes all of the great magic work. Without hedgehog, it begins to fall apart. And I think, the counsel of the card is that where you are influences your perspective on life. And often, I know I do, we feel ourselves small in comparison to the task before us, the dream that we have, that we long to manifest, the goals that we set for ourselves, the problems of the world that confront us and that are summoning us to solve them, the wounds that ask us to help heal. And this card says that from every angle of perspective, there is no such thing as small. You should never see yourself as small in relationship to either your dreams or your dilemmas, or the dilemmas of the world, or the dreams of the world, because you're an essential part of it. So it says, when you go forth, look, be careful where you set your feet, because there are holy and divine creatures living there. And perhaps, bring yourself to their level and observe the world. If it's your cat, see the world through your cat's eyes. If it's your dog or your bird or the hedgehog in your garden. For me, it was turtle. We have a box turtle we only see very rarely. And since returning from Florida, from the pilgrimage to see the sea turtles nesting, and to bear witness to that magnificent mystery manifesting, to be in the presence of true divinity, and especially the force of the Great Mother. That turtle has been all over the yard and in the driveway. And so we come into the driveway now very slowly and very carefully. And so in a certain sense, this says, do not worry that when you put your foot down, that you will not be supported, you will be. But this card says, watch where you step, not to step on the small creatures, because they are going about their business, and their business is profound and sacred. But it's also, not to see yourself as a small creature, but to see yourself as an essential one. You're here for a reason, for a purpose. And the world is meant to be seen from your point of view, through your perspective, through your eyes. It's a unique vision that you have. And it's one to value and to understand that it is valued. And to breathe. As my mother would say, are you breathing? The lungs of the earth, this great, huge tree with the bird in it, right? Which has the birds, plural, which has a very different perspective, from above than the little hedgehog from below. And all of them are true. And so yours is true and has an important role. You have an important role to contribute your perspective to a world that needs you. So how I guess that is the question for you this month on this journey, on this adventure into a world that loves and nourishes and blesses and sustains and protects you and welcomes you. To ask yourself, what is the point of view that I have that I can share? What is my unique vision, my gift, my purpose, my dreams, my understanding of my life and the lessons that I've learned that I can offer to the world to make it a better place for my having been here. And as the month comes to an end, it is the goddess of air who reminds us with her rattle, her sistrum, held in one hand, right? And the skein of wool from which all lives are woven, and the spindle that drops, and in another hand, the knife, right? The hand that weaves, the thread that is dropped by the spindle she holds, and the hand that cuts the thread at the end of its time. She rattles and reminds us that we are each given a billion heartbeats. And while it's natural for us to forget that our time here is limited, because how can we live if we're constantly thinking we're about to go? But nonetheless, our time here is limited. And she beats that sacred rhythm of a billion heartbeats. And when it is your time, she will cut that thread and you will leave this world of embodiment and enter realms of spirit. And so the month concludes this gorgeous, hot, wet, climate changing month of peaks, of peak growth and fertility, to use your energy, your time, your powers, your capacities to give birth, to create life, to create your life, to see that life in the full measure of its meaning, to know that time is limited, to do your best not to waste it, to enjoy it, because joy is the essence of fire, to enjoy it, to work hard, to love well, to seek your purpose, and to embody it. So we begin with the adventure. We pay attention to our unique perspective and its value. And we end the month stepping back with a more cosmic vision, seeking to understand our place in this web of life, knowing that our time is limited, that our role is important, that our work is important, that our love is our capacity to love and our willingness to love is important. Our ability to receive love is important. Our dreams, our visions, and how we articulate them, how we bring them to life is important, that the time we have is limited and we are meant to use it well. And so when the month ends, you are summoned to her side to hear the beating of your heart, right? And to listen to the wisdom that resides there, okay? And to follow your dreams and to devote yourself to bringing them into being. So I hope you all have a glorious summer, month of July, that you work well, that you play well. Make sure you leave time to get out in the sun, to go to the beach, to be in the woods, to be in your garden, to walk your dog, to play, to enjoy the billion heartbeats you've been given, while you're also working hard, just as the earth does, to be fruitful and to multiply and to make your dreams a reality. Play well too. And remember that it's a great adventure and that you are supported, that every step you take, you will be met by the grace of Mother Earth, supporting and loving you and nourishing you. And I will see you all at Circle soon, where we will cast a spell. Be well.